Check 1, 2. Here we go. Wow. Welcome to the Catalyst Podcast, raw, real, and unedited. My name is Jason, and you can find Catalyst at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. You can hear this podcast created through Spreaker on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeart, and Amazon. Now, a Catalyst has the power to create change, and we hope that's what this podcast will do. If you, yes, you, would like to be a part of this podcast as a guest or a contributor, you can email us at catalystmotivation561 at gmail.com, catalystmotivation561 at gmail.com. Welcome to episode 30 of the Catalyst Podcast. Yes, indeed, folks, the Dirty 30, here we are. I want to thank all three of you who've been supporting me, and we will continue to progress and move on and go forward. So again, I want to thank you so much. Let's start off with a quote, shall we? Okay. So, you can achieve anything if you believe in yourself, but the opposite is also true. Without strong self-belief, you will not go far. So you can achieve anything you believe. You can you can achieve anything if you believe in yourself. But the opposite is also true. Without strong self-belief, you will not go far. That's Paulo Coelho. I like that one. That's a good one. So today's topic is going to be about something that used to completely own me and rule my life. Anxiety. And we're going to dive deep into this topic. It's really close to my heart. So let's get started, okay? So as you probably already know, especially in today's world, dealing with anxiety is like riding a roller coaster. Some days you're cruising along, enjoying the view, and other days you're clinging on for dear life, wondering when the next loop-de-loop is going to hit you. All right? I have been there. I have definitely been there. I remember the first time I felt the grips of anxiety. It was like a sudden storm on a clear day, completely catching me off guard. My heart raced, my thoughts spiraled. I felt that I was like drowning in a sea of worry. It was absolutely terrifying, But over time, especially recently, I've learned a few things about navigating the turbulent terrain of anxiety. And I want to share some of these insights with you today. So, first off, it's okay not to be okay. We come from a generation, us Gen Xers come from a generation of, of like the one take, everything has to be perfect. And, if you weren't perfect, you were flawed and you failed. And it's okay to be not okay. It's okay to be flawed. It makes us who we are. Society always tells us we have to put on a brave face and shoulder on our struggles, but that only adds pressure to an already heavy load. So, you know what? Give yourself permission to feel whatever you're feeling. It's okay. All right. And this is a crucial step in the healing process. So allow yourself to fail. This is how we learn. This is how we grow. And it's okay. It's a great weapon and tool for those who never try or never do anything and always want to keep anybody else down. Oh, you're failing. If we didn't have failure, we wouldn't have the modern conveniences we have today. So it's okay. It's okay if you're not perfect. It's okay if it's flawed. It's all right. Next, remember that you're not alone. All right? Anxiety can really make you feel isolated. And man, I can tell you there's been years of my life, decades, where I felt like it was just me, just the lone wolf out there all by myself. Whether family or friends or whatever, I always felt distant and separated, and that's what anxiety can do. It can make you feel isolated. It can make you feel like you're battling these demons and you're battling them by yourself. But the truth is, you're not the only one doing it. There's millions of people around the world who are fighting similar battles, you know, but we've become so cautious and fearful because we live in such a society that will use this against you and cause chaos and havoc. And, you know, but we got to be able to reach out to friends, family, or a therapist. Especially now, you can do it right on your phone. You know, you'd be surprised how much your story can lighten the load just by sharing it. And I was part of a couples group when I was having challenges in my marriage, and I found that to be very beneficial. That led into the men's group that I was in, and that men's group really, really opened me up to be honest with myself, to share with myself, to dig deep. It really did. It really helped lighten it just by sharing and letting people know what my struggles are. And then hearing other people's struggles. It does let you know that you're not alone. That's the one thing my ex just didn't quite grasp. Your problems are not your problems alone. There are other people who are like yours, and sharing can really be helpful. All right. So we're okay with not being okay. All right. You understand that you're not alone in this struggle. Let's talk about the coping mechanisms. All right. How do we cope with this? All right. For everyone's, their toolkit is going to look a little bit different. All right. So it's going to be key for you to find out what works best for you. For me, it's mindful practices of deep breathing, meditation, walks on the beach, which I've really strayed away from and I really need to get back to. But even the morning walks when it's just me and I'm walking, in the neighborhoods that I live in, and I'm usually the only person out at 5 in the morning. The beach walks too, and barefoot and feeling the sand and really hearing the ocean and feeling the breeze and really kind of brings it all back. And it was really, my moment with God. And I do it now too in the morning. In the morning, I kind of just lay for a minute and kind of go through some pieces as well as I do at night. It really it helps me to anchor myself in the present moment and really helps to quiet the chaos. So, what works for you is going to work for you. That stuff really works for me. Deep breaths in through my nose, just being quiet, being present, but especially the walks and, just mantras and motivation and getting my mind to get centered. They work for me. They might work for you. I don't know. But your kid's going to be different than mine. All right. And speaking of the walks, exercise. All right. It's a great way to manage anxiety. Running, lifting weights, doing some kind of activity, playing basketball, whatever it is, you know, a simple walk, any kind of physical activity is going to be good. It releases endorphins. It's our body's natural stress reliever. So, get out and do something. And especially now with everybody working virtually, or a lot of people working virtually, get outside, get moving, get physical, you know? And let's not forget the importance of self care. In our fast paced world, it's easy to neglect our own needs in favor of productivity, but prioritizing activities that bring you joy and relaxation is essential for maintaining mental well being, right? Whether it's reading a book, taking a long bath, indulging in your favorite hobby, carving out time for yourself every day is absolutely important. Okay. And lastly, be patient with yourself. Recovery is not a straight line. There's going to be setbacks. There's going to be hills and valleys and everything. It's inevitable, but every step, no matter how small, is a victory. So if you can just take one more step, one more day, Be grateful, be thankful, celebrate that. Doesn't matter how big or small it is, it's a move forward. And that's really what the key is. As long as we keep moving forward, taking that step, giving it that one more piece, it's absolutely important. All right. So, you know, it's okay not being okay. You're not alone in this. All right. Find out what's going to be your key coping mechanism. All right. Use, be physical, have, have exercise as a part of your life. Your diet is also important too. And that's self care, taking care of you, which kind of encompasses some of the ones that we just talked about. But, but loving yourself enough to take time for yourself and doing something that you really enjoy. This podcast and Catalyst are such big pieces for me in my anxiety. When I feel that, things are getting rough, I can come to this and it really helps me in letting go of that anxiety. But again, being patient, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. And when you take that time to get through it, it's so amazing what you will find on the other side. All right. So be patient with yourself, love yourself enough to give yourself what you need. All right. So I hope you found some nuggets of wisdom in this to carry you on your journey through anxiety. Remember, you're stronger than you know, and you have the power to weather the storm, whatever comes your way. Okay. So thank you so much for listening to the Catalyst Podcast, raw, real, and unedited. My name is Jason. And again, you can find Catalyst at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Where else are we? Oh, yeah, Threads and TikTok. That's where we're at. You can hear the podcast created through Spreaker on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeart, and Amazon. A Catalyst has the power to create change, and we hope that's what this podcast will do. Again, if you want to be a part of this podcast as a guest or a contributor, you can email us at catalystmotivation561@gmail.com. Catalystmotivation561@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening to episode 30. We will see you on episode 31. Go be great.